Welcome to this week's podcast with
Wow.
Chucksterr, World Class Assassins, and my man Beast.
Yo.
And we have a special guest today, rivaLxfactor.
Hello all.
Thank you for joining us. We're really excited to have your big name and your big ego here with us today.
Of course. Is there enough room in this mumble fort? I don't know.
Probably
I think
not.
we can make room.
Thanks, Xfactor, for showing up and giving us your time.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Well, before all that stuff, let's go ahead and dive into some of the other TWL League and Alienware matchups. Beast, what you got?
Well, first off, I think congratulations are in order for Team Crucial, who actually won the AV8 Championship over at TWL, taking down WKA. Congrats out to them. Chuck, if you want. I know you played in the match, so if you want to say a few words on it.
Yeah, I mean they really did some good work in there with I know that they were scrimming pretty much 24/7 on that map, and they put a lot of work. It's definitely well deserved. Besides a little bad luck here and there, I mean, we really
literal bad BF3 bad luck.
I see what you did there.
literally bad luck. Either way, they had practiced a lot more than WK did. So, congrats out to them.
All right. Over at Alienware, the situation looks somewhat different actually, with Nexus and WK swapping. Nexus took down WK and Grand Bazaar this past week and took the #1 spot. Other than that, it looks like Aerial Aces at #3 at 5-0. They haven't played anyone top notch yet. They've got a match against No Mercy this week, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. The Minions jumped into the top 10, and Rivals at #14 right now playing their first match, so look for them to be jumping up as soon as they get some matches under their belt.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about that Nexus WK match. We had played on Grand Bazaar. We felt pretty confident in that map. It wasn't probably our strongest one, but it's definitely a good one for us. And I guess terrible, pretty much unfortunate events with our main tanker disconnecting and not being able to play. It was pretty hard. So either way, we're hoping that this next week we're going to be sending out a challenge out to Nexus for the scene crossing. So hopefully you guys aren't going to start trying to duck us just because you guys beat us on one map.
Is that a call out? I think that's a call out.
It's a tad bit of a call out.
I think WK is calling out Nexus in front of millions of people right now.
Millions. And they're all fucking, they're all Xfactor's subscribers.
All
Not my
500 of
own
them.
subscribers.
There you go.
But who needs subscribers nowadays?
Actually, we do, Chuck, so you probably shouldn't say too much more. Moving on over to Gigabyte now. They just posted a reminder up there, so might as well relay that to anyone who's going to be playing. Got to get your all the team information into the admins over at Gigabyte. You got to get them your handles, emails, all that stuff if you want to be in the league. So it looks like a lot of teams. I think this 2 weeks delay was really beneficial. I think I see at least 10 to 15 new teams signed up on Gigabyte. And there are a lot of intriguing matchups, potential matchups, as they still haven't released the bracket. But this could make for a pretty fun tournament if all these teams are actually feeling it and practicing and going hard at it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice. I'll jump in real quick. That the admins over the tournament said they're going to try to seed this, so the bigger teams meet later in the playoffs when perhaps it becomes a 2-loss knockout. So it could get kind of exciting, and
Nice.
After the 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
Yeah, I think a two loss knockout would be beneficial for a lot of these newer teams who are coming in and This might be their first big tournament, and they come in here and they might lose their first round, and then all of a sudden they're just demoralized. I think if they can somehow incorporate a second game into this tournament, even if it was meaningless, I mean, exhibition or something, just to get these teams playing and into the flow of 8v8, I think it'd be beneficial.
I definitely expect a lot of the teams to be pretty active with that stuff because it's actually worth cash prize. So, teams that don't necessarily play in competition for TWL or CGL or Alienware, I think there's going to be more teams coming out of the woodworks. All right, let's go ahead and move from all that bullshit. We actually have a special news flash from Mr. Xfactor himself, bringing you guys Xfactor Minions update.
Yeah, the Minions, for those of you who don't know, that was a community challenge that we kind of offered. If we could mature and teach and pick guys from the community, we had did a video on YouTube, and I said, hey, come to our forums and fill out an application. We're going to pick 20 of the top guys and kind of cherry pick the talent. Within 24 hours, we had over 100 apps. We had to close it down.
Wow.
So out of those 20 guys, we ran drills and we started eliminating down to about 16 or so. And it's amazing, kind of like the raw talent that's in the community. They're building blocks. They're pieces of clay that we're helping mold. And in the process, this is what's amazing. In the 3.5 weeks we've been doing this, they've knocked off 4 top teams now or traded rounds with 4 of the top teams in 8v8 conquest in the North American scene. Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's impressive.
It is pretty amazing.
So they're guys that, and the amazing part is people don't understand how hard it is to build a team and to crack the top 10. There's guys that have been playing this game or the game before, Bad Company 2, for years with a core group and still have yet to beat some of these teams. So it's kind of a nice feeling that we're helping the community and they're helping us do something kind of neat. And in the end result, we're trying to grow the competitive scene, get more people involved that have never tried this and turn them on to it.
Yeah, talk a little bit when you were first coming up with this idea. I mean, was this your idea or was this something that someone else had suggested to you? And
rivaLxfactor kind of said, hey, your YouTube page is growing. I kind of got an idea for you. So rivaLxfactor kind of came up with it, and he came up with some of the basis points, and everybody else chimed in. So, and we ran with it. Things were winding down for us. We just won Gametronics, and we won the Alienware stuff. So it's like, fuck it. Why not? Let's do something for the community right now because we got time. Then Gigabyte popped up.
Yeah.
But, with that being said, it's kind of a, again, this isn't our team. This is a community team that we built and we're mentoring and teaching.
Was the interest more than you anticipated, or was it about as much as you had?
I thought we were going to have 30 apps, and that was it.
Wow. So
we had 100 in less than 24 hours.
Jeez.
It's kind of nuts. And the cool thing is only 2 guys on the roster had played competitive anything. 1 or 2 rounds, 3 rounds, couple matches. Everybody else, they're glorified pub stars who want to learn and have the building blocks.
So when you were recruiting these pub stars, as you call them,
Mm-hmm.
how do you actually make sure that you don't have any bad seeds? Possible hackers or glitchers.
Absolutely. When you're building a team, I don't care if you're one of the biggest names in the game or one of the smallest names of the game, you all have one thing in common. You have your team name. And with that comes responsibility, respect, and a lot of things. You have to protect that little nest egg that you built up. So what we did is we searched and scoured the earth for previous bans on these guys. We got all their IPs, their GUIDs. We got everything. Then we took the top guys and said, you record everything you do. Okay, so the top guys with the top shots, they could shoot a lot like some of the WKA guys, rival guys. We said, you're recording everything, every scrim, every practice, everything we do. And we would scour the footage to make sure there's no aimbots, wall hacks, all that stuff. So, again, it's do you want to ruin what you've just done because one guy's selfish or childish? And the answer is, of course, no. So that's kind of the methodology that we use in Rival. And it's a methodology that we kind of threw out on the Minions. And it worked.
Yeah, cool. Kind of talking about rival now, transitioning from the minions. I see you guys have one team on Gigabyte as opposed to the two that you've been fielding for the past few tournaments. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, what happened is we did have two teams in Alienware, and we took first and second place. And the nice thing about that is we could scrim each other. You know,
Yeah.
that you got a perfect scrim partner right there that you could throw different things against the wall and see if it sticks. So what happened is to be able to do that, 8v8, we had 12 guys on each roster. That's 24 slots basically. And Gigabyte came out and they said, well, we're only doing 10 slots. Okay, then they bumped it to 16. So we fielded interest and we didn't have enough for two teams. We literally had basically 20 guys chime in and say, hey, we want to play. So what we did is we kind of cherry picked, and Casio and Cartel went through and said, hey, we're going to pull in these 13, 14 guys depending on their strengths and weaknesses and field the team off of this. So it's kind of like if anything, it's the all-star version of Rival Gaming.
As if rival needed any more help.
Yeah, we'll
Combine the best of two.
Yeah, we'll take all the help that we can get because teams are constantly shaking it up, and you have that attrition in games. Guys get burnout. You know, some guys are playing tribes or Super Monday Night Combat. You're never going to retain 100% of your team throughout the length of a game, but these guys are core rival guys. They're always around. They just don't want to take up a slot in the tournament and forego it to somebody who still has the eagerness to play. So Rival's like a big family, and we share.
So, what team were you actually on before when there was two teams?
I was on Rival Black.
Okay, so would it be considered the red team was kind of the quote main team?
We didn't do it like that. What we did is obviously Rival has had a name for themselves for years in the Battlefield series, and there's a core group of guys that played together. We didn't want to mess with that. But what had happened is Cartel and Casio and Panda, you know, they're bringing on guys like me who's been around. I've known Cartel for 7 or 8 years, and a couple of the Rival guys have played side by side in several games with them. And then Aaron and some of the other guys that come to the table, we said, fuck it. Let's build another team. We have the talent. We know the plays. We know the coverages. We know how to break teams down. How hard would it be to duplicate that? Sure as shit, it was pretty easy for us to execute.
Well, one last question for me, kind of regarding rival. I mean, you guys enter every tournament, whether it be 8s or 4s. I mean, you guys know that you're the favorites going in. I mean, everyone knows that rival is always the team that people look to and say, yeah, they're probably going to win. So I guess my question is, how do you and the leaders like Cartel kind of manage those expectations and make sure that you don't get too ahead of yourselves or too cocky and keep that level head?
Yeah, Cartel keeps egos in check. We really don't have any egomaniacal players, and that's a good thing. So what happens is, if you're the champ, you get everybody's best shot because they want to knock that guy off. They just want to say, hey, we just beat these guys in a match. Because in our professional careers in Battlefield, I think our record's like 145-11. Those are tournaments, leagues, the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
So not a lot of teams have beaten us. But there's been a lot of close games, and we get people's best shots. So what happens is everybody knows, Rival Cartel, he's our play caller. He's one of the brains of Rival. He yells and puts us in check when we mess up. Let's say we beat a team by 150, but we fucked up and should have beat them by 250. He'll let us have it and let us know each breakdown. We'll discuss each lane breakdown, rebuild that moment so that we can kind of prevent it from happening again. Because winning for us isn't good enough. It's winning the right way.
Before we get out of here, Xfactor, if there's anything you'd like to say to your followers or your teammates, go ahead.
Yeah, I think first I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to kind of share this information with the community. But
yeah, definitely.
If there are listeners out here that are looking to get into competitive gaming, there's ESL, that's 5v5. You can pug that. Over in Europe, we play a lot of Europeans during the daytime. There's BF3esports.com, which you can find teams recruiting. And again, we found some stud players out of the random community. There are other people that want to play, but they're kind of scared to take the first step. Take the first step. Check out BF3 Esports. Check out my YouTube page. There's constantly people going back and forth, and I'm giving you information of who's looking and what's looking and where to go. Become part of this growing community. The BF world is a great competitive community. I just wish more people in North America took advantage of it like they do in Europe.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially you see all these guys. I mean, like the feedback you got on your video just proves how many guys are out there that want to play. They just don't know how to take the first step. So I think making that aware is the first step in increasing this community. So
yeah, and I'll give a couple tips real quick. The first step is recognizing that, hey, I kind of want to be competitive. If you played sports in high school, you're in karate or ballet, whatever you were in, if you have that desire, this is a great place. But make sure you have those fundamentals down, because the teams that you're about to try out for are probably going to be pretty good and light years ahead of what you are. Not every pub star has what it takes, but the pub stars that can think and listen and adapt, those are the guys that'll do well in the competitive world.
Well, Xfactor, thanks for showing up and giving us your time. I hope that some of the teams actually take your advice to heart and pretty much follow it word for word on how to create a team, because I know that reputation definitely goes a long way in Battlefield 3.
Absolutely. And before I go, one last shout out. Rival Beast, you are the true dirty Frenchman.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you around the battlefield.
Thanks, guys. See you in Gigabyte.
See you. All right, Beast. It's time to get to our favorite section, the shout-out part.
Love this section. Let's go.
All right. Well, I got my first shout-out is from A Word to Y'all. He would like to give a shout-out to Callisto. He wants Callisto to know to stop stealing his ideas, brah.
Whew. Callisto's gonna be pissed.
Don't you have one?
Oh yeah, I do, but I'm gonna save it for a bit.
Okay, well then.
Okay. My first shout out is gonna be to Team Crucial for winning the TW8 V8 League. So congrats to them, and good win against world-class assassins.
Yeah, it's better that you did the shout out for them, because I hate them right now so much. All right, well, congrats, guys. I do have another shout out. It's to August. We must. It's from his boyfriend. He wants August to shave his neck beard because it's starting to get really scratchy when he kisses him.
Dude, August, man, he's making a lot of appearances on this thing. I hope he's listening.
Me too.
I got another shout out from Word going to Callisto. Callisto, brah, I know you mad, brah, but brah, I think that we can still be friends, brah. And so, there you go, Word.
There's a little bit too much brah action going on here, brah.
Yeah, I agree, brah. And I also have a shout out. This person didn't want to give their name, but he was just gonna kind of ask Swifty, what is that, 7 or 8 bands now? We've all lost track in the community, but...
Are we talking bands overall, VAC bands? I mean, you gotta...
We're just talking bands and video games overall, PC in particular. Obviously.
Hopefully it doesn't get into the double digits, you know, brah.
He's going for the double-double. You got any more?
I think I might be all out. Actually, I do have a shout out to Kane from World Class Assassins. I hope that you enjoyed the video that we put in there. It's the typical me shitting on you all day. So, love you, bud.
Kane should just stick to pubbing.
He's our pub all-star.
All right, well, I think we're all out for today, this week, so... with that, we will talk to you guys next week.
All right, well, before we let you go, though, make sure that you click the subscribe button at the very top of this video. And if you thought at any point it was pretty funny, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps us get our name out.
Yeah, we're just trying to get this word out about the Battlefield community being competitive, and if you like it or subscribe it does nothing but help us do that, so we would appreciate it.
All right, this is Chuckster signing out.
Laters.